talking to the man that was sick a long time, and he asked him, will you be made whole? So that's how we came up with the name. And it basically consists of me and my husband, our two boys, and my parents. And so some of the products that we have been working on in the past month include natural deodorants free of any aluminum or any of those toxins that are in the regular Suave Secret deodorants. That causes your body to keep the toxins inside because it's antiperspirant. I'm sure you've heard of these things. So we've been working on that. Also, a natural toothpaste free of any fluoride. Fluoride is a dangerous chemical that was actually banned, but now it's just, the medical industry just passes it off as something that is, beneficial to your teeth, and it's really not. The other thing that we've been working on are salves, which are more of a heavier cream than just lotion, but it's herbal, and some of them are to heal arthritis, aches and pains, bruises. We also have, what else do we have? We have elderberry syrup, which is good for flu and the immune system. So come and check out our table when you get a chance and see what we have. We also, another part of the ministry is to promote modesty. And I shop around and shop around for the best modest clothing that I can find, and to provide it to churches, at events and so forth. So right now we have a lot of women's clothing and shoes at modestly priced, and we make it available, like I said, to many churches or wherever God wants us to go to promote modesty. So basically, the ministry is to promote a holistic life in the areas of our mental, physical, and spiritual being. So that's it in a nutshell. I'll pass it on to organic concoctions.
Hi guys, good afternoon. My name is Jonah. The name of my company is. The name of my company is called Organic Concoctions. Me and Monique have sort of similar values, so Organic Concoctions pretty much. I was inspired to start my company because I was essentially frustrated with what was out in the market today, and there's an abundant amount of products that you see in conventional stores like CVS, Wayne Reed, Target, that are loaded with synthetic chemicals. And these chemicals, a lot of us can't even pronounce the name of a lot of these ingredients, and they're not necessarily they're not needed for effective skincare. So essentially, whatever you put on your skin has the ability to go right into your bloodstream. That's right. So a lot of these synthetic chemicals affect our bodies on a cellular level. So if you don't know what you're putting in if you don't know the ingredients, why are you putting them on your skin? Right. So it makes no sense. So I was inspired to start a plant-based, natural and organic skincare line. And God gives us all the tools that we need. Everything is here for us to be whole. And I was inspired on my holistic journey to just live as natural as possible. So it's not only about what you ingest, it's not only about the foods that you eat, but it's about the chemicals that you're putting on your skin. It's just as important. So everything is plant-based and natural. I make deodorant, I make healing salves, I make body lotion, I make lip balm, and yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for joining us, and stop over to my table.
And most of you know who I am, but just to introduce myself to those who don't, and for folks watching online, I am Nicole Boucher, and I am part of the Vegan Nest, myself, my husband, and our 4 daughters have this family ministry. And as my sisters here were sharing about the things, how important it is to be aware of the things you're putting on your body and around your body, we not only support that, but also looking at the things that we're putting in our bodies as well. And so our ministry is really focused on 2 aspects. The first being the very practical, looking at health and nutrition and diet and the ways in which we can improve our physical, emotional, spiritual well-being just through the things that we are ingesting and through the things that we're putting around and on our bodies. And the second really focuses on the family aspect, and it's really a call back to family values, focusing on really nurturing the family environment. And Sister White puts it so beautifully when she speaks about the family being the sacred circle. And I can't tell you how true that is, and how much that statement speaks to us in our ministry. As we look and we see so many families that are just busy and caught up with day-to-day tasks and just running ourselves into the ground. Even in the work of ministry, it can be done, when you're so focused on the mission and on the work that we don't take the time to really appreciate our families, and that's one of the blessings of the Sabbath day, among others. But there are just so many things. So taking time to really sit around the table. When we look at the Bible and we see whenever there's food involved and fellowship, right? There's always the offering of food. There's always sitting around the table to commune with one another, to connect with one another. And that's the other focus of the vegan is sitting around the table with hearty, delicious, and really healthy fruits and vegetables and meals that we can share with our families, that we can share with our friends, that not only nurture our bodies, but nurture our spirits as well. So that's what we're all about. We have our little table back there. We have business cards and all of that for any of you who have other questions. We work one-on-one with clients who just have whatever ailments or health issues that you may have. We're not doctors, but we spend a lot of time researching, studying, and coming to understand the human body as God would have us understand it. And so I just invite you guys to come to our table as well. But right now, what we're going to do is open up the floor to y'all for any questions that you might have on any of these areas, and we'll do our best to answer them as best we can. Don't be shy.
Questions, anyone?
Okay, you mentioned Vegan Nest, right?
You put your recipes online so that others could know. Do you usually set up like a recipe so those who are viewing your website or whatever you have your food? Do you show your food on Instagram or something like that? Do you usually put like your recipe so those who are interested in maybe possibly transitioning over to that type of eating lifestyle, they can easily make it themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question because you mentioned something that's really important. Transitioning into the lifestyle can be very, very difficult when you don't know what to prepare for. We did start with putting our recipes online. As we were trying to kind of figure out what the needs of people were, we did stop making those cooking demonstration videos for a time until we could really understand what it was that people were looking for and what would really truly help them during their transition. So that will be coming back soon. But in the meantime, what we've been doing is we post pictures for inspiration that are on our Instagram and also on our Facebook page. And it's just basically pictures of things that I'm making for our catering events, things that I'm making. We do sell, especially around this time, we sell our plant-based desserts for the holidays. So I just put pictures of basically whatever I'm cooking. I'm always experimenting in the kitchen. Most of the time it comes out okay, but sometimes it's a little bit suspicious. But I put pictures of everything on there just to give people inspiration. As I'm inspired when I'm shopping through the grocery store, and I would urge anyone who's really transitioning into the lifestyle, start with a very open mind about, I'm just going to go into the grocery store and see what looks interesting, right? That's always the question I ask myself. So I walk into the grocery store, I'm like, that's interesting. I've never cooked with that. Let's bring it home and see what kind of things you can make with it. So I'll give you guys an example. I walked into the grocery store the other day, and I've cooked with this ingredient before, but I was just felt so inspired by it. The carrots were so beautiful. All these beautiful colors, purple, yellow, orange, and I just felt like, I want some rainbow carrots, you know, like they were so beautiful and you just want to cook with it. Yeah, so, you know, I just urge anyone who's transitioning to just have fun with it. There's my husband said this to me before, because he was vegan, I was vegetarian, and when he was trying to encourage me to let go of the dairy and look at what else I could enjoy, he kept telling me, some of the most delicious foods in the world are all plant-based. You just have to try it and have fun with it. And that's something that always stuck with me. So over the time, the Lord has shown me that that is absolutely true. Everything plant-based is so amazing and delicious. So I thank you for bringing up that point about transitioning. It's not easy for everyone, but we try to do our best to put those resources on our Facebook page, our Instagram, and on our website, and also through, you know, offering one-on-one menu planning options for those who are truly struggling, to kind of help them build a menu for the first 30 days so that they can be successful.
I have one other, not question, but for the viewers who are watching, if each of you can kind of just one by one give the viewers an insight as to where they can tap into your resources, I think that would be excellent.
Absolutely. You can go to organicconcoctions.com.
Just wanted to add what Nicole was talking about. Be Made Whole also has an Instagram account, and we post pictures of family dinner, you know, every night. If it's something that looks interesting, I'll put it on Instagram. And we've been vegan, vegetarian, on and off for, I don't even know how many years, but we've tried many different things, and so we're always available for cooking demonstrations. We cook a lot of Caribbean style foods, and we like to transition those into vegan style. So this way it'll encourage people that if you're Spanish, if you're Guyanese, West Indian, whatever, you can still have your dishes, but in a vegan form. And so, you know, go to our Instagram page, and it's Will You Be Made Whole, if you just put @Will You Be Made Whole, and also our Facebook page. And our website is willyoubemadeWhole.com, so you can look at more stuff there.
Thank you, ladies.
I just wanted to add something to what Monique was saying, because I think it's, and I might ruffle some feathers here, I hope not. But we're all here for building, yes?
Yes.
So, one of the things that I think is really interesting is when we speak with people one-on-one, is that they're so tied to our culture, right? Where we're from. And we can't let go of certain things because, oh, back home I ate this, and I did all of these different things. And culture is a beautiful thing. But when it comes to how we take care of our bodies and how we choose to be obedient, and not even just obedient in what the Lord asks us to do, but just a desire to live in a way that He's given us the blueprint for a full and healthy life. So why wouldn't we take Him up on that? You know, He's provided it. And so sometimes it can be so difficult, but sometimes we do have to not put culture first, right? But put health and what God is asking us to do first. And so I think it's awesome that you're taking some of those traditional recipes from different cultures, and you're turning them into something that people can eat and that's palatable and enjoyable. But you don't have to leave home behind, right? But then sometimes there will be some things that we just can't turn into healthy, you know? Sometimes, you know, a spade is just a spade and we have to let it go. And that's when we, you know, when we need prayer sometimes, because it really truly is a lust, a desire of the flesh. And we have to let it go sometimes. And so, you know, it's not easy. And I know sometimes people say, oh, it's just diet, it's just what you're eating, you know, it's not a big deal. But it really, really is, because when you think about when you really have that craving for something that you know isn't good for you, but you're just going through it and you're like, man, I just want a bowl of ice cream. And I just want to sit on the couch and eat this bowl of ice cream and not talk to anybody, right? And it feels so good in the moment.
That's right.
But that's a desire of the flesh, because God gives us something so much more to get out of those moments, you know? And eating something, you can eat that, and in the moment you may feel good, but then how do you feel the next day? Or after years of doing that to your body? And when the doctor tells you, well, you know, you're pre-diabetic, or the doctor tells you, you know, your blood pressure is high, or all of these different things, and then you think, oh, why did I eat all of those chips over those years, you know, or why did I eat all of these different things? The things that we do to our body may not manifest in the beginning, but over time it will catch up with us. And so that's why we really are spending so much time talking about all of these different things that we're putting on and in our body, because we want you guys to have the same benefits of living that lifestyle that, you know, we're all able to enjoy. And it took us time to get there.
Yep.
And so that's why we want to share that with you. Do we have any other questions?
Move your foot the way it's coming. She's moving forward. Move your foot.
Yeah, I do have one question.
Do you find it easy to, for someone, I guess, for someone who's aspiring to do something similar, do you find it easy to focus on one or multiple things? Is it challenging, or, you know, do you find, you understand where I'm going with that?
In terms of
Well, instead of like just simply skincare, or, you know, you're doing skin, food, you know, it's a wide plethora of things. Is it difficult to push it all, or do you find that it's easier to start out with maybe one section and then the rest will come, or?
absolutely. I know for me in my journey, one thing leads to another. So initially I was really, how do I say, really interested in eating plant-based foods. So I'm a vegetarian. So before I was a vegetarian, I was really interested in health, what makes a person healthy. And I guess through that journey, it inspired me to become more aware of good skincare, plant-based skincare, and why it goes hand in hand. It's almost as though like you can't have one without the other. Eventually, it's gonna catch up. You know, when you start to, and it's about research. You know what I mean? It's about finding out what works best for you in the beginning. You know, you can't, as you said, it's hard to just like push it all out. You know, fire hose it out and just say, I'm gonna change. Like this is it. You know, we're all humans here. We all make mistakes. So transition yourself. You know what I mean? It might just be food for you right now, and it might be, that's your personal journey. And then you say to yourself, well, you know what? I want to be holistically healthy. The whole body, you know, everything connects. So when you understand the importance of good natural skincare and how it can affect you on a cellular level, and how, you know, different things like the accumulation of certain chemicals and synthetic ingredients, like let's say aluminum, for example. Aluminum is now being linked to things like Alzheimer's. Yes. So you have to understand that it's not only a journey through your food, it's a journey through everything. You know what I mean? You don't worst thing you could have is an accumulation of certain chemicals. That's food, and that's also skincare. And it's other things as well in the environment, and it's so hard for you to 100% rid yourself of the bad things, but what you can do is what you can do. If that answers your question.
It did, and one other thing, it just goes for anyone and everyone, and that is, how do you start to, I guess I want to call it networking or get yourself out there? What is a good way to begin that path?
Nowadays, I'm still going through that. You know, I'm still in business, so I'm still trying to figure that out. Social media platforms are very, very important, and it's the way a lot of people are networking today. So, the resources are out there. All you have to do is look. There's so many meetup groups for entrepreneurs who are doing the same thing that you're doing, or maybe slightly different, but who are in the business of working for themselves, potentially, or even something else. It doesn't matter. You could be working a 9 to 5. It's just as important. But I say start online. You know, there's so many resources for people to just meet up, and people who share the same likes and dislikes that you might have, and you know.
Yeah, I'll add to that. I think, well, that's a good question for us because we're just starting out, right? So I would just say just start going to events. You know, we met Nicole at the last Reformation event. So just start going to events where you know there's going to be people that think like you, are in the same mindset, and it just happens. It's not anything that you necessarily plan. I mean, you can plan certain things, but the things will just start to happen. So like I said, you know, I met Nicole at the Reformation event. She gave me her card, we hooked up, you know, friends on Facebook, started to share certain things, and that's how it worked out. As far as what kind of products or things that you can work on, I would just say start working on the easiest things or the things that you know that you can do very easily. For me, it was the deodorant and the toothpaste, and I think that also adds to the holistic kind of approach that we were trying to convey. Like I said, we are vegetarians, but we were looking at things that also affect our skin and internally, so it's not just what you eat. So and then once we started using those products, then it's like, okay, well, why don't we share that with other people? So, and of course the Facebook, the Instagram, you know, getting a business card together, getting it out there everywhere you go, just meet people, talk with them. So those are the things that we've done, still working on it. It's a work in progress. It is overwhelming, and for someone who thinks of the whole picture, like, okay, how am I gonna get to that final product or the end result? You can't worry about, you have to do it in steps. So you have to just start the small things, and it'll lead, and it'll take off. Just be patient and just start somewhere.
Make it a matter of prayer.
Yes, and also pray about it and ask God to show you, you know, where to go, who to talk to. You know, even if you're at an event, you know, ask Him and say, can you just lead me to where I need to go to this person? Or it's just, you know, His providence and His leading. So.
Amen. That's right.
And I just wanted to add, also what I think is important is to stay around people who are uplifting you. Not everyone is for you. I'll just say that. So it's important to keep people who have the same vision as yourself, or who have the same values as you.
All doing this right now. I mean, exactly what was said in the devotion just meant. I mean, you all were called to do this at this particular time, where the world is finally discovering, you know, through all different sources. Yes, what you put on your skin is important, what you put in your body is important. Things that they thought were good for them are no good. Nevertheless, The world is entrenched in habitual things based on some really savvy marketing of evil men who know these things are wrong, but they have lobbyists and governments that, you know, like what big tobacco did with cigarette smoking and all those other things. And I'm sure, you know, the biggest names in the deodorant companies are gonna do their counter research and things like that. So with that set as a foundation, not if, but when you begin to get pushback, because, you know, without even making it too religious, it's good versus evil. You know,
That's right.
you have what's good for folks and what's best for folks, and evil says no, this is best.
That's
You know,
right,
we have
that's
all
right.
the science. You know, we have all the professors and scientists that, you know, have way more equipment than you do. What do you mean, little local startup, that,
That's
you know, your product is better than ours? This is a David versus Goliath battle.
That's
Literally.
right. Amen.
Literally.
That's right.
So what is the plan to, and you don't have to, you know, just sorry, here's one plan. You know, what is the plan to counteract that, to be sure that this information gets out? Because it literally is, as the devotion started also, a matter of life or death.
Yeah.
So,
So, you know, that's challenge/question. And I know y'all have time, so each of y'all, I guess, maybe take 2 minutes to do that.
so let's see if she's gonna let me do this. Absolutely, it's a battle, and I'll be very frank in saying that it is, the Bible does not lie when it says money is the root of all evil. It's about the dollars. The love of money, yeah, the love of money is the root of all evil, and it really is about the dollars. And, you know, unfortunately, where the money is, that's where the apparent power lies. And we've definitely had our challenges where we've gone out and spoken about things, you know, around vaccines, around medications, around different things. I think the where we have our strength though is that the body speaks for itself. When you put these chemicals and these toxic ingredients into your body or on your body, like we were saying earlier, it may not reveal itself in the first 6 months, the first month, in the first year, what have you. But eventually, as time will tell, the body will tell us. You can't hide abuse in anything. And when you abuse your body, or when you purchase products that may not have potentially been abusing your body, but when you've taken things that are abusing your body, it will eventually say. So when you see, for example, the articles that came out just recently talking about, oh, well, maybe red meat now is starting to show a link to causing heart disease. Okay, well, that's information we've known for a long time. But it's just now at a point where the breaking point has come, and it's no longer popular to say that. So now the media industry has to come forward and say, yeah, well, you know, you're right, but hey, how about this chicken? You know, or something else, and they present something else. So I will just say that try it. And that's what I tell everybody when we talk to them. Just try the natural way. Really believe it. Just give it a try. Because you will see right away the change in your skin, the change in your health, the change in your stamina, and your just your overall being, and you will feel healthier. If you try transitioning to a plant-based diet, you might have a few days where your body is in transition and it's reacting aggressively, and that's good. That means your body is saying, yeah, I'm recognizing that there are a lot of foreign objects here. There's a lot of toxicity here. So your body needs to detox. Your body needs to kind of go through that violent reaction of expelling all of that is not good for it. But then that's when the healing can happen. Amen. So give it a try is what I would say.
To answer your question, I'll admit sometimes it can be a little isolating when you think different than when you think differently than what the masses believe. So you have to be, well, I've come to a place in my journey where I have to be confident in myself. I have to be sure of myself. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not, any sort of opposition, any sort of naysayer can just destroy me and knock me down. And that's not what I'm in the business of. That's not who I want to be, you know? So, you know, we're all human, we all have our emotions, and it is sometimes hard to kind of just be sure of ourselves, and not only that, be assertive in our beliefs sometimes when you have people, when you have the media telling us otherwise. But I know that not to be true, and like Nicole said, it's becoming something that's not the popular opinion, because people are starting to, as they say, wake up. And I like to look at myself as someone who is a critical thinker, someone who is informed, and someone who is intelligent. So I'm secure in my beliefs, and I'm not going to allow someone or a group of people persuade me to think otherwise just because it's the popular belief. So, yeah, you know, it's a journey. It is. It's a journey, to say the least. You know, even close friends and family, they may not understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, but that's okay. It's my journey, not theirs. And I could go on a long spiel.
I just wanted to read this text, and this Bible text actually is like the driving force of everything that we kind of do with our ministry. It says, "And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them," and reprove means to expose. So, like Nicole said earlier, the industry is driven by greed, profit, and so what we're doing is actually going against the grain, and I like going against the grain. I don't like to be following the herd and the sheeple and just doing things because, you know, that's what people do. No, we're trying something different. We're sharing it with people. They can try it themselves to see if it works, and, you know, like Nicole said, the body will tell you what you're doing is either helping or hurting, you know, the body. So I think that's the goal, and it's not for the weak-minded. It's not for those that are not, like my sister said, confident in the work that you do. You have to be able to be strong-minded, believe in your product, believe in your ministry, have confidence in it. Because if you don't, how are you going to convey that to other people and say, hey, try this, and also use it yourself? You know, the product that we've come up with, we use it on our families. We use it with the kids, so it's not anything that we're saying try this, and, you know, we don't use it ourselves. So and also, just to answer the question finally, is just to press forward, just do it. No matter what other people think, or, you know, people might not support you, they're entitled to their beliefs, and you don't get offended by that. You just move on, and you just do what you have to do.
Thank you for that question. Thank you for the question. Does anyone have any other questions?
I have a question. I have a food question.
Okay.
A lot of I have a food question for the baby. Maybe Nicole can answer it.
I'm here. Oh, there she is.
So, like we discussed in our little small table over there, I mentioned that some of the challenges that I've gone through as a new mother is taking people's advice or people telling me what to feed my child. So in the event, you know, I'm trying to rock my baby to bed and she's hungry. Normally people would say, well, give her the formula so it's heavy on her stomach, she'll sleep through the night. What natural foods do you recommend I give my child to sleep at night? Okay, so I'm just gonna, hopefully you guys can all hear me, but I will start by saying, how how often do we as adults sleep completely through the night, undisturbed, with no issues, right? We don't. Babies are going to wake up, and it's okay. A lot of times I think people have this emphasis on babies needing to sleep through the night in order for them to get a good night's rest. They're going to get their rest, and they're going to sleep as they need it, and it's okay if they wake up. However, just foods in general that are good, that are good to give your baby. I always talk about really healthy grains like barley are great. Sprouted grains are great for your baby. I don't recommend giving any of the processed baby cereals or rices or anything like that because it's just too heavy on baby's stomach. It's too much and they don't need it. So focusing on, all of your really great dark leafy greens, veggies, nothing that's going to make them too gassy. So stay away from the cruciferous vegetables like cabbages and broccoli and things like that. But just veggies that are going to be very nutrient dense. And then adding a little bit of barley, a little bit of oats, a little bit of, seeds, things like that are great for your baby. You can also try, though, outside of food. One thing that I find helps my little ones a lot is giving them a little baby massage in the evening. She might need one. She's very upset. But giving them a nice warm bath, and I add a little bit of lavender to the water, and just let them relax in the bath for a little while. And then when they get out, taking a little bit of coconut oil and just gently massaging them in a circular motion clockwise. Starting at the top, working my way down, focusing on all their main points, so their hands, their little feet. And that oftentimes helps to reduce the anxiety and the stress levels of little ones when they're like wakey and they're cranky or colicky, and that can help as well. So the baby massage, and then just making sure you're getting the healthy grains in there.
So a night feed is not necessary.
No, if the baby's not looking for it, you don't need to force it to make them fall asleep. I think it's perfectly normal for them to wake up in the middle of the night. It's actually healthy. It lets you know what's going on with them. Sometimes they wake up because they're uncomfortable or because they want to snuggle and they need comfort. So you want to keep them alert and keep them on a schedule that's a healthy schedule. You don't want to overfeed them. I think a lot of times that oftentimes overburdens their system. And so it can lead to digestive issues later on down the line. Or it could also lead to just getting into the habit of eating late at night, and that can lead to intemperance and then just wanting late night feedings, late night food when they get older as well. Once they're toddlers, they're going to be looking for those snacks and those late night eatings, and it's going to be harder for you to get them onto a healthy schedule where they're just eating as they need it instead of eating because they're used to having a snack at say 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So I would just keep doing what you're doing. And when people question you on it, it's your baby. You know your baby the best. You know what she needs. You know when she's really hungry. Don't deny her food, and she's really hungry. But you know your baby the best. So I think just having confidence in that, and that's something that we all learn as mothers, and I think that we have to remind ourselves day by day is that God gave that little one to you. You know what's going to be best. Just keep doing your research, keep asking your questions, and having that confidence that you and your baby have that bond that you know what she needs. Right. But the massages have been awesome for all of my little ones, getting them to sleep and just helping them to relax before bedtime. I would highly recommend those. Okay. So we just want to thank you guys all for your questions. If you have any other questions, I know you're enjoying it right now, but we'll be at our individual stations as well, so you can ask us questions throughout the day. This is not the end of our growing together. Of course, we have, as we all mentioned, our individual Facebook pages and Instagrams and all of those things, so you can contact us through those means as well. We're always available to answer questions and help wherever you may need help. So enjoy your lunch, and we'll come together again in a few moments.